I had made a whole video making this piece where these stitches are normal and these ones are really, really tight, but because the yarn is black, it's really hard to see the difference. So I'm going to do it again, and this is the same yarn that you were using, and I also have the 4 hook, but I only have this in black that I can find. Anyway, I do have some red yarn, and this is that economy yarn that I was talking about. It's quite a bit thicker. Let me see if I can. I don't know. This yarn really, really sucks. I don't recommend it unless you're going to be doing the crochet dolls or whatever, because it's very firm and it's good for that. But it's really rough and scratchy, and I basically use this yarn to teach other people how to crochet. So I'm going to use the 4, even though with this yarn I would recommend like a 5 or 6. We're just doing it very gently. Don't pull on your hook. If I pull this, it will tighten that previous stitch. Did you see that? Let me see if I can do that again. Sorry, I have black paint on my hands from a different project. Anyway, so if I pull this through, that's how my stitch should look. But if I pull on my hook, that stitch closes up. We don't want that. We want them to stay nice and loose, very gentle. How many is this? 1, 2, 1. Let me just start over. I've used this same piece of yarn for so many different tutorials. It's kind of fraying now. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. This is how I hold my yarn. I wrap it around my pinky, and then I wrap it around my index finger, and that's it. This is very loose, and I just move my finger up and down depending on what tension I need. And sometimes you'll see me wrap it around twice if I have too much yarn, and it's still the same thing. I'm just moving my finger up and down to loosen that tension. Let me create a foundation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's move this away, or it's gonna try and focus on that instead of what I'm doing. Okay, so let's chain 1 and turn. I'm gonna do 5 normal. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, and then I'm going to do 5 really tight ones. So I'm going to put this in, And then if I pull on that, that's going to tighten those up. And then pull it through, and then pull on that again, and that's going to tighten that stitch real tight. So if you have your finger is pulling and you can feel it digging into your finger, your tension is too tight. Let's go in there, and I'm keeping it real tight. Like, and I have a problem with pulling like this. I'll do this stitch and then I'll pull this when I'm decreasing. I don't know why I do it. When I catch myself, I have to go back and undo it and loosen my tension, because tighter stitches, see how it's starting to curl already? Tighter stitches means that you're thinning out your yarn and you're creating bigger gaps. It's kind of the opposite effect of what you think would happen. Did I already chain one? Yeah. Okay. You don't want the tighter stitches. It changes your gauge. Like, can you see how these are smaller than these ones over here? I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but push that in. Pull it. We don't want this to be... Your hands should not hurt. Mine are already starting to cramp. And I know when you're frustrated and you're trying to get it done, you're just so tight and you pull and you struggle and you push. If you find yourself doing that, you shouldn't have to struggle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is 5. So let's go back to my normal tension, nice and loose. 1, 2, nice and loose. I'm not pulling on the threads. I'm keeping the tension taut just enough so it's not out here, and I'm not trying to do these big crochets like that. Like, come on now. Just keep it loose. It's snug, but it's not tight. Right through. So there's not a big difference on the top here, but you can see this is actually shorter than over here, and it's stiffer. I mean, it's good for dolls because it'll help hold the shape, but I mean, working 1,000 stitches in something like this, my hands would be dying. That would suck. So we just want to keep it nice and loose. Don't pull on anything unless you start seeing like a gap. That's too much. Just pull it so it's the right size and pull it through. Oops. One more. And then we'll do 5 really, really tight ones. I can't even get my hook in that last one. Okay. There we go. I mean, this all comes from you pulling on this, This should not be so tight. Let it go. Just rest it. It should just be resting. I hope that helps. If you're having a different issue, if you think there's a different issue that's going on that I'm not touching on, just let me know. If you want a different video, let me know and I will make it for you. I want you to succeed. I want everybody to. I want everybody to enjoy this work.